Today, we are diving deep into the magic, the political intrigue, and the heart-stopping romance that all collide in Callie Hart's fantastic novel, Brimstone. So get ready, because we're about to step into a world of fae, vampires, and a massive conflict that could burn everything right to the ground.
Now this single question, this is everything. It's right at the heart of the entire story. It's the central struggle for our new queen, a leader who never wanted the job, and whose very nature is her biggest weakness, or just maybe her most powerful weapon.
So, at the center of this whole storm, we have our protagonist. And let me tell you, this is not a story about someone who craved power. Oh no. This is about someone who had it shoved into their hands, someone who's forced to rule an entire kingdom from the shadows.
And here is the core of her problem. Meet Ceres Fane. She's the queen, right? But she's also a prisoner of her own body. As a fae-vampire hybrid, the sun in her own kingdom is literally deadly to her. So think about that. How can you possibly lead a people you can never even stand among in the daylight? It's just a brilliant setup for the isolation that comes with her power.
Right, and since she's trapped by the sun, Ceres can't exactly lead the charge from the front lines. She has to split her focus, split her forces, and that's where the story just immediately fractures into two super high-stakes plotlines, both happening at the same time and both stretching her alliances to the absolute breaking point.
Okay, so this is where we see the two major fronts of this war. On one side, you have a very real, very political mission in a seriously treacherous desert. And then, on the other side, there's this creepy, mysterious darkness that's just spreading in the frozen north. Two totally different kinds of danger, and both of them could unravel everything Ceres is desperately trying to hold together.
And of course, you know neither of these missions is going to be that simple. The story pretty much throws us right into this tangled web of political games, ancient grudges, and the constant threat of betrayal. Not just from enemies, but from people who are supposed to be her friends. And this is exactly what makes the whole situation so dangerous. The threat is coming from outside and inside. While her guy, Kingfisher, is out there dodging assassins and dealing with deadly politics, Ceres is stuck at home dealing with a court that's basically a snake pit. She is literally fighting a war on two fronts, and the line between who's a friend and who's an enemy is getting fuzzier by the second. But you know, this story isn't just about big battles and political moves. At its absolute core, it's about the relationships, the ones that are tested and the ones that are forged, in the middle of all this chaos. And that, well, that all begins with our main characters.
So first, you've got Ceres. Her whole journey is this classic struggle between who she is deep down and who she has to become to survive. Her compassion is, her greatest strength. But in this brutal world, it's also a weakness. She has to learn to be tough as nails just to keep her people safe.
And then there's Kingfisher. He starts out as the perfect loyal knight. You know the type. Brave, totally dedicated, her champion. But what happens when that straightforward loyalty gets slammed by impossible choices? Well, it grows into something way more complicated and honestly, way more interesting.
So if we pull back from the plot for a second, what is this story really about?
Well, beyond all the cool magic and the fighting, Brimstone is digging into some really deep universal stuff about power, who you are, and what you're willing to sacrifice.
These are really the pillars holding the whole story up. The book is constantly asking, what are you willing to give up to have power? Are you defined by your family or by your choices? And it really explores how war can just shatter the bonds of love and loyalty, but also sometimes make them even stronger. That emotional core is what really pulls you in.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. Is it worth losing your friends, your own integrity, a piece of who you are? The story makes these characters and us, as the reader, face these questions head on, and there are no easy answers, not at all.
And ultimately, that all leaves us with one last big question. For someone like Ceres, is the real fight for control of a kingdom, or is it a fight for the soul of the woman who has to wear the crown? It's really a battle between the queen she has to be and the person she truly is.